Hi, and welcome back to Community Hotline. I'm Monica Weitzel, and I am now here with Amy Roloff from the Amy Roloff Charity Foundation. Thanks for being here, Amy.
Well, thank you for having me again. I'm so excited to have this opportunity.
Well, you're always welcome here. We have a good time.
Thank you.
You know, the Amy Roloff Charity Foundation has done a lot of things. You're not just in one area. You've supported other nonprofits.
Yes, correct.
Maybe you could tell our viewers that don't know some of the things that you've done in the past year.
Well, how ARCF, Amy Roloff Charity Foundation, began was really in partnership and working with other organizations that I thought were doing some really great things in the community for kids.
Mm-hmm.
And
so
also,
your focus is on kids.
Yeah, our focus is on kids. And because ARCF at that time didn't have its own program, I wanted to work with organizations that were working with foster care kids, special needs, disability kids, underserved areas. So that's one of the reasons why we worked with Soccer for Success. Homeless youth. I've either gone and support, or ARCF has reached out to some of those. Home for teen moms, or home for teen moms, teen pregnancy. Yeah. So, you know, working with organizations that are helping impact and support kids that I call facing life challenges. Mm-hmm. You know, some of these challenges weren't necessarily brought on by them. Right. You know, life gave it to them, and we can't just leave them go. Yeah.
Life can be really tough sometimes.
Yeah,
so I always say that everybody has something happen to them sometime in their life. Some of us get it when we're younger, some when we're older, but when you're young, it's really hard to overcome some of the adversity and things that can happen in your life.
Well, just like an adult and kids, it could be one event that totally changes a kid's life, and they're just, you know, devastated for their whole life.
On the street, or
or it's a thing that happens in their life, and for some reason they're just they just have the ability or something within them and their surrounding to help them overcome it. I call it, some of the kids, you know, are facing this woodpecker thing. It's not a huge event, but it's this everyday thing that just keeps after them, and
it wears you down.
It does.
It wears you down. It's like
it wears us adults down.
Yeah, it does. It does. Yeah, stress wears you down, and the self-esteem issue is a really big deal. I think when kids have things happen to them that they don't have any control over, and they start feeling bad about themselves because, you know, why is all this happening to me? Yeah. You have specifically addressed the issue of bullying. Yeah. And have experienced some of that. I believe you said in your own life. Correct. And it's, I don't know that it's around more, but it's certainly talked about more than it ever was in the past. What do you think about that?
I think the whole bullying issue, it's been there since day one. I mean, we can go in biblical times or back in history. I don't care where we go. Yeah. It's always been there. Right. And it's come in different ways, shapes, and forms. I think the intensity of the amount of information and how bullying is happening nowadays.
Like with the social media?
With the social media, Facebook, emails, all of that has brought the intensity up too. And I think the more, you know, politically correct we get, the more afraid we're to say something. And then I think kids find other means, you know, to communicate whatever they communicate. There's a lot of great bullying programs. I have finally found a program, a curriculum that ARCF can wrap their hands around and grab a hold of to really attack this. I wanted a program to go beyond just a Band-Aid. It's great to say nice words, it's great to be positive, but if you don't feel it within yourselves, that will eventually wear off.
So you're talking about the self-esteem issue, or developing your character, having your strength of character to deal with it? Is that the kind of thing
it is? It's not only about self-esteem, but it's helping these kids understand the aggression that's happening in the school environment, their school climate.
It's scary.
And school aggression comes in many different forms. So it's about acceptance, aggression reduction. It's about respect. And it's about character building, compassion. What kind of characteristics do you want to develop in yourself? And the freedom, F for freedom.
ARCF.
ARCF equals ARCF.
Charity Foundation.
And, you know, having acceptance and, you know, understanding this aggression comes from both ends. The person giving it and why the person is receiving it in the way that they, you know, anxiety, depression. I mean, there's over 90% of kids that have faced it, either directly or indirectly. how it affects their learning experience, comprehending, valuing that education, and depression, and
and then there's a whole suicide thing, which just makes me sick. But it's
unfortunately that's
there.
like the very end, or some of them choose that way out. But
so
I really
sad.
wanted a program that until they get a handle on themselves, then can you go and respect someone else. Right. I'm not saying you have to agree,
right,
or agree with everything, but the respect and the compassion and understanding that aggression and accepting people for their ability to be the best that they can be, is a program that I can definitely wrap my hands around. Because you can change the environment all you want, but if people aren't owning up to it, it's not going to work in the long run.
You're not going to be working just with people who have been bullied, the victims. Correct. You're going to be working with the bullies themselves.
I want to reach both ends.
Yeah.
Because if you reach this, it may help the people bullying, but they need help too.
Yeah.
Because
of course,
they're reacting in a more aggressive, negative way. And that's not healthy for themselves either, if further on. And really helping these kids understand that this is a program that's just not for the moment, not for the early, mid to elementary, but for middle school. We'll develop a curriculum that goes in a little bit deeper for the middle school, the high school, but helping these kids understand this is an everyday thing you should do for yourself and do for other people. Because look at us adults. I mean, we can face it in the job, our boss,
we can face
employees,
it driving down the freeway,
our personal relationships, So just really helping these kids, it's like, you matter. You have purpose, you have value.
So tell me how you're going to do this. You said curriculum, so is this something you're doing with the schools?
We have Dr. Lisa Alshon from the Portland State University working with us, and she teaches the graduates of Portland State that are going to be in these schools, the counselors and everything like that. So we're having her come on board. She currently sits on the ARCF board. She's helping us develop this curriculum. This curriculum will go into the schools and be another tool for teachers to be able to utilize this every day in their classroom.
So will you be teaching the teachers? Is that
correct? We will be teaching and training the teachers how this program works, how we think it can affect their classroom, and taking it classroom by classroom by classroom, and then helping, because teachers can only do this probably about 5%, that kind of interaction. But our goal is to have this program for them to be able to one-on-one, small group, really kind of help these students understand themselves and how important their surrounding is, how they react in themselves and other people. We hope to implement this in 2014. We've got about three to five pilot schools in Portland that are ready on board to give us.
Now, are these middle schools, high schools? What are you?
We're starting off in the elementary. We're finding.
Makes sense. Start them young.
Well, it's almost beyond me to think that we've got to start mid-elementary, because by the time you get into junior high, what we're finding in some of the data is that they've already have been dealing with this. It's almost not too late, but late to start it from the very beginning.
And how sad. But I remember my daughter was in 3rd grade. She didn't want to go to school for like several days. She was sick, and you know what? You're not really sick. What's going on? And there was a girl that was threatening to beat her up every day. I thought, really? I was shocked. I was just shocked. I just couldn't believe it. And
the hard thing for like that, your daughter or whatever, is that they don't know if it's real or not. It's a threat, but do I take it seriously? Is this really going to happen?
Do I tell mom and dad about it,
or do I
get
tell
in
my
trouble
friends?
Am I doing something wrong? Am I bringing it on myself?
Or do I tell my friends? Are they going to tell dad? And then I've made it where it's like suddenly this individual doesn't know where to go to, who to turn to,
or if
who's going to help me.
Am I going to get hurt worse?
Yes. And so really to develop those tools and help the school and the individual students on how to deal with that, when and who to go to, how do you approach this, certain incidences that happen, within them. But I'm a big fan in empowering them. And I think once they feel better about themselves, to be bold and strong enough that most likely, most of this is just threats. If it ever did come to physically, then you take these different steps. Partnering with other organizations that unfortunately, if they choose to even think about suicide, you know, there's other resources out there to deal with that. But standing up and say, okay, I don't care if you don't like me.
Yeah, yeah.
Diffusing,
I don't need
the
you
biggest
to
thing
like
is
me.
diffusing that kind of boundary between the person giving it and the person receiving it.
Because the person who's
Instead of
bullying has the power, has all the power.
Instead of hovering and, you know, kind of shying away from it, take it head on.
Take it back. Take
with,
back
with
the
certain
power.
verbiage, with certain things that they can do.
Yeah.
That doesn't create the situation worse.
Right, not aggression,
Yeah.
something different. So I know that you, to support all these nonprofits, you have fundraisers that you need, and you have a big one coming up.
I do have a big one coming up.
And it's your birthday party.
It is.
Is that right?
I have pretty much, maybe in the beginning I didn't, but this is our 5th annual Amy Roloff Charity Foundation Gala. We're calling it Starry Night. It's going to be kind of like that Mad Men 60s theme.
Oh, fun.
I love that area.
Fun.
You know, the pretty dresses. You know, let's get
Are you
all
gonna dress
dressed up
cute?
and have
Oh,
a party.
fun.
It's my birthday weekend, so I tell people, give me the biggest gift you can. Give me money, special appeals, live auction, because I want to give a gift to the kids that we're supporting. So it's September 14th. Left Bank Annex, and you can go to our website, amyroloffcf.org.
I am planning
buy
on being
tickets,
there. I'm planning on being there.
sponsorships, and all
I have to
that.
figure out what to wear now.
Oh,
the Mad Men theme, that'll be
yeah,
fun.
it's going to be a fun time, fun
Yeah.
event.
So you're going to have the red carpet there, people are coming
We
down,
are.
yeah?
We're going to have a red carpet, and the VIP we're choosing to be after the event so that people can have a chance to intermingle with everybody and, you know, get to know who's there, talk to other people who are sponsoring, and kind of get the excitement going for when we have the live auction and silent auction going on. We've got John English as our entertainer, and I know he's well known here, but when I first heard him with this theme, he's the first one I thought of. So
Great. Who are some of your sponsors for this event?
some of our sponsors is Fred Meyer, who has donated for the last 4 years, so we're going to be honoring them at the event. Frontier Communications, As Good as It Gets Catering. She owns a restaurant, Cheryl's on 12. She's been doing it since we first began, and you know, a bunch of others, but those
they're
are
probably
some of
all
our
on your
key-
website if
yes,
people want to know.
they're all on our
Yeah.
website, and we do. I think we do.
The good sponsors.
I think we do a great job all year long, just keeping them up there and going wherever we are, you know, helping spread the word that they're part of ARCF.
Before we run out of time, Amy,
Yeah.
if someone were interested in being part of your organization, do you have volunteer opportunities?
We definitely have volunteer opportunities. I mean, definitely this big fundraising event, September 14th, is the big opportunity for that. But we're also doing something during the holidays and partnering with Metro Troy Drive.
Right.
So we may need some volunteers like that. We may not have a spring program in 2014, but depending on how well we do this event and how well our program takes off.
Well, you've got the bullying family. That's going to be fairly all-encompassing, I would think.
It is, and we might need some volunteers for that too. So definitely go
Go to
onto
the
the website,
check it out.
and check out our website.
Great. Thank you very much.
Thank
Thanks
you
so
for
much.
having me. Appreciate it.
Well, the Starry Night sounds fun. I can't wait. I'm really looking forward to
love
it.
I love getting dressed up.
Yeah, I know any excuse,
I
right?
can give you a whole story on why I love getting
Okay, we'll
dressed
talk
up.
about that later.
Yeah.
Thanks so much for watching this segment of Community Hotline. And don't go away, we have one more segment, and it's going to be an interesting one. But if you're interested in attending the Starry Night Gala, there are tickets left. Go to the website, check it out, and maybe I'll see you there. Cool.
Community media is priceless.
Valuable.
Community media lets you tell your story to fit your needs.
My favorite thing about community media is it's got to be the people's shows.
I think my favorite one is Karaoke Oli.
Oh, Karaoke Oli's a good one.
We sing live karaoke on TV for an hour.
Hamster versus Monster.
Nap Time with Kittens.
Community media brings programming like Chambers of Commerce, the Faith Community.
Psycho Chicken.
Do you have any UFO shows?
No, I wish we did.
I would like one of those too.
Yeah.
Children's programs, high school sporting events, and of course, the ubiquitous city council meetings.
Only when we hear from folks in their own voices with their own stories can we truly connect.